Hey there everyone, welcome back to White Day, a Labyrinth Named School. Previously, we completed all the compulsory events from Main Building 2, which included some conversations with So Young and running into the Baby Soul ghost. I can't remember if that's the official name or not. And we essentially ended off after that encounter where the janitor was despawned. So again, we have free reign over the school, and we want to kind of do what did with main building one, which is to collect all the items, get all the ghost stories, and experience all the ghost encounters. So let's get right back to it. All right. So we opened up all the doors previously, so we can kind of just start where we want. Um, Faculty office one, I think, is our first location for important items. Nope, nope, it's not. I take that back. Everything is out of order. Of course it is. I'm gonna fix up my notes. If anybody ever wants to see them after they've been organized, I will gladly share them because it can help a lot just to have written notes saying, okay, go do this, this, and this. Investigation report. The mental health of students, the anxiety of students, and their ineffective coping methods. Written by Taegun Lim, school administrator, manager, and Korean language teacher. Many of our students suffer from considerable anxiety about their future. Gee, I can't imagine why. This is quite natural considering their state as adolescents. That doesn't change. I'm sorry, man. Just take that and run off with it. Um, However, some students are using odd methods in attempts to cope with their anxiety issues. These odd coping mechanisms, quote unquote, are spreading across the school like wildfire. In a way, this brings light to the fact that the students today lack responsibility and a sense of identity. The real problem, however, is that some of these odd coping methods are taken as more than just a joke. They are turning into a fanatic religion. Students who have yet to form a solid sense of identity are more easily lured into joining these fanatic sects. That's SECTS for the record, in case anybody's not reading along. One of the main coping methods the students are using is the act of calling the dead. Using an Ouija board, students attempt to call upon the dead to quell the uncertainties they face, by asking the ghost questions or even to predict the future. At a glance, it could be dismissed as an immature act of self-reassurance that can be safely ignored. However, that is not the case. When such acts are committed repeatedly, the students will often eventually lose his or her grasp on reality, and, in some extreme cases, the student exhibits a full-on psychological breakdown. This matter must be resolved for the safety of the school, and heavy supervision is advised until until a what? You can't just end there. Okay. Water disconnection report. Here you go. This is why you have to go to the science lab. The water to the main building has been disconnected due to an undetermined reason. However, a single sink in the science lab on the third floor of the main building 2 still has running water. The students seem to find this disturbing. A major repair will be conducted to rectify our current water problem. Vice Principal Sangmoon Lee. So what's going on in the bathrooms? The toilets just aren't working or what? The principal's office. Number 1. Name, Ji-won Kim. Date of birth, January 22nd, 1970. Gender, male. Religion, non-applicable. Subject, music. Special note, committed suicide on school grounds in 2000. So this is the teacher they were talking about. No family or friends appeared after his death. Seemed antisocial and exhibited eccentric behavior from the start. Created and spread rumors about a conspiracy in the school. Showed some signs of paranoia. Installed a lock on the music supply room for his exclusive use and would hide the piano chair key so nobody else could find it. He was being closely monitored about the time of his death. The possibility of murder cannot be ruled out, but given the weight of the evidence found, it is most likely that he committed suicide. Number 2. Name, Na Young Han. Date of birth, September 22nd, 1980. Gender, female, in senior year, homeroom 11. Special note, a top student during her first 2 years, but her grades began to fall when she entered her 3rd year. The cause for her grades slipping was not found. She did not appear to be having issues at school or home. She was found dead in the school. Lacking any evidence for murder, her death was ruled as suicide by hanging. This should sound really familiar. That's a really important note. Both those first two are really important. Actually, all of these are. Number 3. Name unknown. Date of birth unknown. Gender female. Address unconfirmed. Special note. A delusional woman who began wandering around the school 2 or 3 years ago. If you follow Sung A's route, you actually learn a little bit more about this one earlier on than we will here. Will sometimes trespass on the school grounds, but does not show any concerning behavior. She may be involved with the accident 3 years ago, but there's no evidence linking her. Exhibits particular sensitivity to alarms, fire, and security. They cause her to have seizures. Okay, and there is something we can get here. Wooden handle. Okay. Look for the shinies. We got this one here. Okay. This is an easy one to miss. Faculty notice. Attention, all teachers working night shifts. The passcode to the principal's office has been changed due to a recent leak of the previous passcode. This is why we had to get the code in a particular way. The passcode is on the chalkboard in the student department office, written with a piece of special chalk that is invisible under fluorescent light, which means you have to have the lights off and use the lighter. The principal does not approve of others entering his office while he's away. Please use the passcode only. Only in case of emergencies or special circumstances. Vice Principal Sang-moon Lee of Yandu High School. Note to the gym teacher, please make sure to return the student department office key when your shift is over. You have a habit of leaving the key inside your gym jacket pocket, making it difficult for the next shift to take over. Other faculty members are also advised to turn in the key after their shift is over. That's like one of those, I think there must be something on the, yeah, obviously. It's like the passive-aggressive CC email, if you know what I mean. Class materials, part 2. We got part 1, right? Yeah, from the other building. Oriental Studies, interesting theory of 5 elements. Remember, that's what we've been removing from the doors every time we go to a new building. And when we went to the upper floor of the first building. Teacher, Vice Principal Sang-moon Lee. The theory of 5 elements is made up of a cycle of harmony and aversion. Harmony being an energy aiding another energy to flow better, and it is a forward movement in the cycle. We're gonna be learning some feng shui here, all right? In contrast, aversion is when An energy is going against another energy to block its flow and is a backward movement in the cycle. The flow of aversion is as follows. Metal greater than wood. Metal can cut through wood. Wood greater than earth. Wood takes nutrients from earth. Earth greater than water. Earth can block water from flowing. Water greater than fire. Water extinguishes fire. Fire greater than metal, as fire melts metal, and then the cycle repeats. The flow of harmony is as follows. Fire and earth. Fire returns to earth after being exhausted. Earth and metal. Metal is extracted from earth. Metal and water. Metal becomes the source for water. Water and wood. Water raises wood. I can think of a few other things that raises wood as well, but you know. Wood and fire, as wood burns to create fire, and the cycle resumes from the first. In the cycle of harmony, there is a hidden principle that all wrongs will be righted. This can be said to be a true reflection of the depth of Eastern philosophy. It's really interesting. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else in here of great import. This is Faculty Office 1. The only thing in here that we need, like, that's like, kind of miscellaneous items that we need for certain events is the pin. So this is the night duty room, and this is not the culminating event, but this is the Lion Girl ghost. So this is technically a part of the ghost encounter. And this one's a little different than most ghost encounters because you have to encounter the ghost in 3 different locations in a very particular order starting here. All you want to do is just interact with her. Okay. I don't think there's anything in the fridge. One thing that was really cool about the original game is the game was much darker than what it appears to us here, and when you open the fridge light just lit up the room. It was so cool. Alright, Truth Finder number 2. So we have number 3. That was about the lost and found. Okay. Yondu newspaper, spring issue. Let's learn about Morse code. Yeah, these are weird, but they're also useful. Morse code is a communication code invented and developed by Samuel Finley Breese Morse that can compose and send sentences using short and long signals. Sorry. It is considered the most basic emergency communication device due to the fact that you can communicate using very simple signals. As Morse code is composed of short and long signals, you do not need a special device to communicate as long as you can express it. For example, you may send messages by controlling the speed at which you blink or tap with your fingers. For this characteristic, it appears often in books and movies, where the main character is in danger uses it to secretly send out messages without being found out by the enemy. The original Morse code requires that you pause about 3 short signals between sending of a text, but depending on the situation, it's possible to send signals continuously. In such cases, you want to analyze it in sections broken up using the same number as the signals. For example, if it's a number, every 5 signals indicates a number. So for a 4-digit number, it would be 5 times 4 equals 20. Thus, you would analyze 20 signals in sections of 5. This relates to one of the ghost stories we can get later. And so, don't forget this one if you want to kind of know where all this stuff is coming from. Okay, there should be a crane here. That's our second paper crane. And I think the only other thing in here, I got the med kit already, and the key, of course, is this. Caffeine and teenagers. This is an interesting one. Caffeine and teenagers. Coffee is the most popular beverage containing caffeine. Moderate consumption of caffeine can stimulate the central nervous system, boosting work performance and reducing fatigue. On average, consuming no more than 400 milligrams is recommended to enjoy the health benefits. A cup of coffee contains approximately 100 milligrams of caffeine. I drink a lot more than that in one day. My coffee cup probably has 400 in it alone, if not more. Regular consumption of caffeinated products, such as coffee, can lead to caffeine addiction and eventually cause withdrawal symptoms. Common withdrawal symptoms include fatigue, nausea, vomiting, hypotension, and headache. And yeah, I can attest to that because I've gone cold turkey a couple times in my life, and it's like a week-long recovery process, if you ask me. However, the harmful properties of caffeine itself are not worrisome. It is when caffeine is consumed in excess that it becomes a health hazard. Overconsumption of caffeine leads to the onset of harmful symptoms, and continuous consumption can lead to death. Did you actually know symptoms is not the appropriate word there? For a lot of it, it's signs. There's signs and symptoms. Most of what you would get from most of what they're listing up there at the top are actually signs and not symptoms. Headache and fatigue would be symptoms. The others are signs. I guess technically nausea could be would be a symptom as well. Anyways, there's a big difference between them. Sign is something that you can visibly observe or measure. Symptom is something that has to be described to you by the person who has it. For adults, the lethal dosage of caffeine is 150 milligrams per kilogram, or about 50 to 200 cups of coffee. Yeah, I probably approached that some days. The lethal dose is much lower for children and teenagers. Caffeine is also known to cause birth defects. Like alcohol and nicotine, caffeine is a drug with addictive properties, but unlike the others, it does not have any age restrictions. Therefore, it is important to better understand the properties of caffeine and moderate its consumption. The reason this is here is because one of the health items you can get is a coffee drink, it's almost like an energy drink, a coffee flavored energy drink. And if you drink 4 of them, I believe, you start getting like the heart palpitations that your character gets whenever something goes really bad. So we got the paper crane from that room. There's one in the girls' bathroom. Okay, any other? No. Wait a minute. Tissue vending machine. Pad. Okay, I was gonna say. I thought they were all for pads and tampons. I'm sorry. I was like, why are there vending machines in the male bathrooms? There you are. I mean, I understand if it's a unisex bathroom, but okay. I think that's all we have on this floor. So we want to go to second floor. There's only a few items, but we're gonna scope for everything, of course. I think we already did this area. That that made me think of when people talk about the benefits of things that are typically like condoms, for instance, or pads. Like they have different uses that you can use them for. And I thought of Sosuke from uh, Full Metal Panic, and when he starts talking about how condoms can hold a liter of water, and he starts listing all the other benefits of condoms, and everybody's like mind blown that he knows that he's used condoms before, and that's what he's used them for, and so they're all just like, really, because they all start thinking, what has he been doing, and the reality was not what they thought it was. If you ever get a chance, definitely watch Full Metal Panic. It's Probably one of my all-time favorite animes. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got that. Treasure hunt. I found out a new secret about the music teacher's hidden treasure. One of the paintings in the main building is said to have a key inside it that unlocks the room. I'm so close to winning this treasure hunt that I can almost taste it. Okay. That was a lackluster room. I think there's a few things in this room if I'm not mistaken. I may have already grabbed, I think I grabbed the pen already. I think the lens is the only thing in here. This is locked, but this will be linked to Ghost Stories later, so we'll be back here. Other side. Okay, got a letter here, letter there. Pin? Yeah, okay, so we got a pin. This is Faculty Office 2, okay. I'll get those notes in a second. I think there's just one item. Yeah, letter E. Okay. A note in the faculty lounge. Get rid of the broken stereo system in the music supplies room. The rumor that the broken stereo plays by itself is causing even more chaos in the students' community, which is already in disarray. The students won't even enter the music room. Since it belonged to Ji-Won Kim, who killed himself last year, put it away with the rest of his personal artifacts in the lost and found room. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Of course, we've already done everything related to him that we can for now. In fact, this is his desk. There's the vase or vase, however you want to pronounce it, and then there's a lock on the desk itself, which is really interesting. And that will be of significance at some point. State of the School Report. Title, Inappropriate Rumors in School. Games like treasure hunting are becoming a quick-spreading fad among the students. And we just literally read something about that. But this is no average treasure hunt. It's to find the CD which belongs to the deceased music teacher who committed suicide on school premises last year. The rumor that is that Mr. Kim, the music teacher, had left a CD before his death, which contains his last words and the secret of the school. According to the students, the clues Mr. Kim has left are being found periodically, raising the credibility of the rumor. This rumor has come to the point where it's disrupting classes. Some students are even known to bet huge amounts of money on this. All homeroom teachers are advised to be aware of the situation and to pay special attention in regards to this issue. And of course, we already have that CD. Class announcement, new advanced mathematics class. To better encourage students to excel in mathematics, we are designating Junior Homeroom 7 as the new advanced mathematics class. From now on, top students in mathematics will receive math lessons according to their level during 5th period. We ask all homeroom teachers to relay this announcement to their classes and submit a list of their qualifying students by next week. That is all. Homeroom 7, I think that's the one where we found the girl with the math problem. Otherwise, I can't imagine what the purpose of that is. Dusty stationery paper to Ji-Won Kim. Please forgive me for not saying goodbye in person. I'm being forced to leave, all because of a sick rumor. Should you hear a rumor about me, please do not pay any attention to it. It's a story made up by people plotting against me. Once I leave, I'm sure you'll be bored because there will be no one left to entertain your ridiculous theories and ideas. That sounds like something I would do. For me, I'll be sad because there will be no one to understand my world of art. To ease the sadness of saying goodbye, I leave you a farewell gift. It's my painting of you holding your first art piece. I think you said you created that piece to hide something important, right? Anyway, I wish you good luck and Or, so I wish you good health and good luck in the future. So that's the vase, or vase. Oh, here she comes. I still jumped. I think that's number 7. Oh, okay. Alright. She's been getting me. Like, she's been getting awfully close to me so many times now. Like, she's scared the crap out of me more often here than I think she has ever. Okay. 2 more floors to go. This is actually where one of the ghosts is. It's one of these bathrooms. Oh my god, come on. We're going to, okay, got the pin. I think that's the only thing in here besides the ghosts. Oh, actually, I probably should check that. Oh, no, no. Don't take control from me! You won't open. I wonder why. Can't imagine why the middle door won't open. I actually think we have what we need to trigger it, but we'll come back for that. Oh my god. Becky? No, sorry. Um... Hey, I thought the water wasn't working. Excuse me, I heard that flush. You can't do that. Can't say the water's not working and then have it work randomly. Just for the ghost to, scare me. Wait, why are you an Audi? We want an innie, remember? Alright, we got that. Felt tip pen. Yeah, you hear the drip? That's the one we used to cool down the clay doll. Apparently it's the only running water, except for the fact that the toilet just flushed. I can't remember which room we're in. This has to be the science lab. And what are you? Newspaper scrap. Accident report of March 16th, 19 something. On March 15th, hey, my birthday, around 9:50 p.m., there was a fire in the home economics room at Y High School in Seoul, killing 1 female student. The fire damaged hundreds of dollars worth of property, but caused little structural damage. This was only a small fire that was put out in a matter of minutes. The accident happened right after the end of night classes, so most students were out of the building, but 1 student was killed while waiting for her mother. She was suffering from asthma, and the police believes that she died from an asthma attack triggered by the sudden fire. The authorities are investigating further to determine her exact cause of death. This is actually related to one of the ghost stories we have. Can you figure out which one it is? Okay, 10-gram weight. Trying to think, is there anything else in this area? We will definitely discuss storyline and whatnot later, so don't worry. I don't want to draw all the connections at this point, though it's too early. Oh, there's a camera there. Ignore the fact that I'm here when I'm not supposed to be here. Come on. Okay. The blood's still seeping from the ceiling. Check for the stalls. Stalls? I don't know. These are weird desks. It almost looks like you're at a bar. Doesn't it? In a really weird, like, weirdly designed bar. Okay. Nope, never mind. Mysterious note. An upside-down clock pendulum. His voice shall be the key to unlocking the secret of music. Appreciation. Which means we're looking for a metronome. Which happens to be right here, but we don't have the items for that, so don't worry about that yet. We'll be back here again later, of course. Alright. So... Wait. Did I miss an item? I did. Missed one in the bathroom. Okay, this is a new ghost story for us, which we have 5, so it's our 5th one, and number 13 on the list. A one-sided love. Yun Sun, a junior in high school, was happy to attend school lately because of her new Korean language teacher. Tall and handsome, the new teacher also had a great personality. He never yelled or got mad at his students during his lessons, and he always stayed calm. Yun Sun felt her heart race when the teacher complimented her on her writing. The teacher even noticed when she recently changed her glasses and told her that the new glasses suited her well. Just thinking about him made Yun Sun jittery with happiness. Yun Sun was really an average student. In fact, it would be more accurate to say that she was below average. She wasn't pretty or cute, nor was she good at academics or sports. Because that somehow makes somebody average? Or below average? What are you judging these students on? She also gained weight in the last few years, and even her mother would nag her about losing some weight. She wasn't popular among her friends, and she was not particularly adored by teachers either. She was just a quiet student, always there in her same spot. That was how people around her would define her. Yeon-sun, too, knew that she was no one special, and tried to keep her crush to herself. But as time passed on, she could not hold her growing feelings inside. She didn't even expect to date her crush or anything. She only just wanted to let him know how she felt about him. Yeon-sun worked up her courage and wrote an earnest letter. Next day, right before the Korean language class started, she secretly placed her love letter inside the attendance sheet. She could not dare to give her letter to him in person. As the time reached closer for that class to begin, her heartbeat went faster and faster. Finally, the bell rang and the class began. But the teacher who came through the door was not the Korean language teacher. It was the gym teacher, who she disliked the most. He said that because the Korean language teacher is running late, he will be supervising the class. Yeon-sun felt a cold sweat. Many things raced through her mind. Would he call out attendance? Would he find my letter? If he did, would he just pretend he didn't see it? But the reality she faced was harsh. The gym teacher opened up the attendance sheet, found Yeon-sun's letter, and read it out loud to the whole class. What an asshole. The classroom soon filled with the snickering and jeering of kids. The gym teacher then openly mocked her that even the fat, ugly kid yearns love just like everyone else. Asshole. The disgusted looks and sneering from the class made her scared. Every single one of them was her enemy. She felt as if she had fallen into hell surrounded by demons. Right at that moment, the Korean language teacher entered the classroom. To Yun-sun, he seemed like her savior. He was confused by the strange vibes in the classroom. The gym teacher, getting such a kick out of the situation, handed Yun-sun's letter to him. Yun-sun looked at him and hoped that he would calm the situation down and make things right. The Korean language teacher finished reading her letter and turned to see Yun-sun. His face was twisted by a mixture of disgust, annoyance, and anger. It was as if he was looking at a repulsive insect. Her embarrassment and the sense of betrayal was too great. She killed herself that night in the school, but nobody spoke of why she really killed herself. And that is the attendance ghost from the first building, the heavy-set ghost that ran at us, the one that hurt us really badly. I tell you, people are such assholes. Brings me back to my days of high school and why, not even high school, brings me back to my days of K-12 and why I hated it and would never go back. Okay, so I said I missed a couple of things, I think. Okay, first of all, I think it's this room. I don't think, yeah, there it is. I didn't look close enough. And apparently there's another letter in this corridor I must have just ran by. Or did I already pick it up? No, I ran by. Okay, number 6 for us and 12 on the list. Find my body for me. This is one we all know too well. Oh, damn this ghost. The weather was so hot that it made it hard to breathe, and the cicadas would not stop chirping. The foreman in charge of construction to connect the new building to the old found everything irritating. In his opinion, it was a pointless project, but he wasn't going to complain since it was paid work. The sun blazed even hotter after lunch, and heat waves rose off the asphalt. The workers protested that it was too hot to work. The foreman was both jealous and spiteful of the brash attitude of the workers. However, he agreed it was too hot to work. The foreman ordered his workers to take a break. No progress was being made anyways, and if a worker happened to get heat stroke, it would just make matters worse. Everyone found a spot in the shade and slept soundly. Then something happened while everyone was deep in sleep. A loud cracking sound echoed around campus. It sounded like the scaffolding had crashed through the safety net. Still drowsy from their nap, the workers paid no attention to it and went back to sleep. It was a different matter for the foreman. If there was indeed a problem with the safety net, it would be his responsibility. He yelled at the workers to check out the safety net, but they pretended like they didn't hear him. Annoyed, the foreman realized that he had to check it out himself. It sounds like the worst work crew ever. The workers, who were debating whether to get up or not, were glad that the foreman had left without them. You would not be getting paid for that. Come on, really? Suddenly, the foreman yelled and then was cut off, leaving an eerie silence. The workers jumped up and rushed to the foreman. The foreman was frozen in shock, staring at a terrible sight. Where the scaffolding had fallen through the safety net was the dead body of a woman. The woman's corpse had no head. The foreman and the workers instantly recognized the dead woman as someone who worked in a local restaurant. From the chopped stump of her neck, dark red blood was spewing out, soaking into the ground. The foreman and the workers kept their mouths shut and moved quickly. It was the first time they had worked together so harmoniously. Yeah, it takes a dead body to get you off your feet. To get off your asses, I should say. Despite searching everywhere, they could not find the missing head. In the end, they buried the body in cement and sent it to a waste facility. It seemed like they did a perfect job covering up what had happened. No one would ever know what had happened aside from themselves. For some reason, though, strange accidents kept on happening after the incident. Workers were injured more frequently than before. This slowed progress on construction, and a rumor spread among the workers that there was a ghost at the site. The foreman fumed with anger and ordered his men to keep their mouths shut. Then a pulley fell from the 4th floor and crushed a worker to death. While his body had been mangled by the pulley, his head was strangely unharmed. The foreman became terrified and decided to turn himself into the police. Even then, rumors persisted that a floating head could sometimes be seen. Eventually, the construction work was completed despite the slow progress. When the school reopened after summer break, they were shocked to find the dead woman's head in the garden. They say that the head looked as if it had been cut off, had just been cut off the body, despite the fact that it had been out in the heat of summer for weeks. If that wasn't clear enough, that is the haunted head that's been coming at us. Okay, I think that's everything on this floor. One more to go. And then we can do those ghost encounters that we're missing right now. Okay. We have one more story and one major item. I'm just check these in case there's health items in them. I don't think there are. Coins, if anything. Did I check this area? Okay. We haven't used the vending machines at all. That's actually where you can get the coffee drinks. Okay, I think the spider's back here. There you are. Okay, preserved spider. A scary looking preserved spider, even touching it is terrifying. We've read everything else, I think. Okay, this is one of my favorites, actually. Wooden handle. A handle made of wood. It looks like it can be fitted with something to unlock a place you couldn't open before. And my favorite reaction to this was Darkness saying, "It's a wooden handle. It could go anywhere." He's like, "Let me break that down for you." And he just repeats what he said. I was like, "Oh my god, that's too funny." Because it's like, really, where do you put something like that? Like, where? Eye testing lens left, which implies there's a right. A small lens that looks like a monocle. The rest we've kind of already seen before, so. If you had a wooden handle that could go anywhere, you have a wooden handle that could go anywhere. I'm sorry, that was just too funny when he said that. Okay, I did I miss something in here? I have a note of a story in here. Unless it's in the next room. There it is. Yes! Okay. What are we on now? 7? So number 10 on the list. Competitive spirit. We actually have the item for this too. Kyun Hee's father passed away when she was young, so her family struggled with money. Her family expected her to go to a vocational high school, and start making money as soon as possible. Kyun Hee, however, had a different idea. To her, studying hard and getting into a good college was the only chance they had at escaping poverty. So against her family's wishes, she decided to attend a regular high school. In high school, Kyung Hee stayed true to her goal of studying hard. Her grades were so excellent that she became one of the top students in the prestigious Y High School. For her, however, it was not enough. No matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't beat the student in first place. The number one student was a cheerful girl named Se Young. She had always been popular because of her smarts and kind nature. It was said her father was a top government official. Maybe that explained how Se Young could be so confident and positive all the time. Kyung Hee had never once seen her study. Inappropriate use of the word seen, but okay. She only ever saw her laughing with her friends. Sorry, grammar is important to me. In spite of this, Se Young always had better grades than her. When does she study? Kyung Hee wondered. She decided that Se Young must be getting very expensive private tutoring. I mean, some people do pick up on stuff quick, though. I always say, when it comes to studying, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of finding out what works for you. But some people just really pick up on things fast. Kyung Hee chewed on her nails out of anxiety. She felt as if she had her as if she and her family would be doomed to live in poverty forever if she didn't figure out a way to beat Se Young and become the top student. So she threw herself into her studies even more than before. She hardly slept and studied so hard that she felt like her eyes could bore holes through her textbooks. As time passed, dark circles formed under her eyes. I feel that. Finally, the exam that she had prepared so much for was over. All her classmates complained that the exam was way too difficult. She sat back in her chair and smiled, believing that she had aced it. I will finally beat her this time. Kyung Hee closed her eyes and could already imagine Se Young's tearful face. At last, the day they would receive their report cards came, sorry. The room was filled with varying reactions to the report cards. Some were crying, some were relieved, and some just didn't care. Kyung Hee looked at her report card with confidence. Then her face twisted in shock. Second place. On the report card, it was written that she scored second best again. She turned to look at Se Young and saw her smiling brightly with her friends. She had lost to her again. Kyung Hee was so stunned after this that she could not focus during any of her classes. Only one thing filled her mind, and that was Se Young. How the hell could she beat me every time? It must be the expensive private lessons. But I don't have that kind of luxury. This means I can never beat her. It's over now. We will just have to live in poverty forever. Kyung Hee, from the trauma of her stress, developed a mental disorder and ended up killing herself. A rumor spread after her death that a ghost had begun to appear in the library. It is said that if you remain in the library to study until midnight, a girl will glare at you with her chin resting on her hands before suddenly disappearing. I'm sorry, there's more to education than grades. Straight up. Full stop, end of discussion. And especially when you're in second place. This reminds me of one of my students one day that they kind of like, they got all angry all of a sudden, and they're like, and I was like, "What's wrong?" They're like, "Ah, I didn't get over 100%." Like they're seriously angry because they didn't get over 100%. They were so mad, and I was like, "Okay, of all things to get mad about, I mean, come on." One of the biggest things that they should be teaching in school is concept over memorization and critical thinking over memorization. You're not going to have a textbook to tell you how to run your life. You're not going to have a textbook to figure everything out. Things aren't always going to work out that way. Sometimes you need to actually think outside the box and look at it from a different perspective, and that's what people really need to work on, is critical thinking. I don't remember if there's anything else out here. There was some stuff in this room, though. It wasn't ghost stories, but... Art Midterm Exam Guide. Art Midterm Exam, creating a clay doll. Instructions to complete on schedule, create a clay doll following the directions below. Materials, use special educational clay purchased at school. Method, knead the clay to form a certain shape, dry in a cool place. Use the electric kiln to fire it, cool it under running water. Grading standards, the clay doll's appearance and color, 60%. Kneading methods and class participation, 30%. Presentation, 10%. I've heard that some art teachers can be pretty dang tough, too, so... I used to love drawing. I haven't done much in years, but that's the one thing I was really decent at. Ownerless Diary, February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. A month before White Day. Let's go! Sorry. He seemed like he enjoyed the chocolates, even though she said otherwise. Or even though he said otherwise. It's not even 100 days yet, but I feel like we've known each other for a long time. I hope this doesn't change. We know we love each other, but it's nerve-wracking sometimes. Are other people like this too, like us too? February 20th. I've caught a cold. I called him. Hearing him angry startled me, but also made me happy. It came off as awkwardly cute that someone like him, who rarely shows emotions, was worried about me. But his screaming, "Why the hell did you get sick?" the only way to express your concern? No, that's called abuse. February 26th. Um, I wonder if I got fat during the winter. I feel all bloated lately. He made fun of me. He made a fun of me. He made a fun of me for my weight gain. Sorry, that's what it says. He didn't make it sound so bad. What I'm really upset about is the fact that he doesn't express his emotion. Blah. Yeah, welcome to the world. This should sound familiar because this is something we've dealt with already. March 5th. Everyone's still getting used to the new term, but they all look happy. It's good seeing everyone again, talking and laughing together, but it was impossible to see him when school started. We both knew we were busy because of the schoolwork, but it didn't stop me from missing him. Lately, I've been feeling sluggish. I didn't I think I didn't get enough exercise during the winter break. March 14th, White Day. All the kids were buzzing over Yumjin, Yumjin all day. I think her boyfriend snuck into school last night to leave her a box of candy, just like we were going to do for So Young. Am I right? Damn the girl. She's practically been glowing with glee all day. I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I feel annoyed at her. He didn't do anything for me. I was so sad I could die. That is not worth dying over. I don't no, just not. March 20th. It's too early to call it spring. I think I'm down with a cold. My body is out of whack. I mean, I'm a senior after all, but still. I talked to him on the phone today. He said something about the duties as a student and whatnot. He meant that we needed to take a break from seeing each other. I feel suddenly scared. I'm scared that I'll never see him again. March 25th. The midterm schedule is set. Today is our 100th day anniversary. We didn't even get to talk on the phone. I'm sure he is busy, but I desperately need to hear his voice and see his smiling face. I can hardly control my emotions. I keep thinking about killing myself. This is why you don't want to be involved with him, and why you should be tending to yourself. April 4th, with a sense of dread, I ran the pregnancy test. The result wasn't what what I hoped it would be. Having a new life inside of me was scary, but in a way it made me feel better. I'm worried about his reaction. Should I tell him? Maybe he will take more interest in me. But at the same time, wouldn't I be a burden to him? You can probably see where this is going, right? And what this links to. April 8th, his reaction was unexpectedly cold and scary. He even threatened that he will never see me again if I didn't lose the baby. It scared me to death. But I will give birth to this baby no matter what. I am thankful to the new life inside me. I will keep it even if I have to die. I can't stop looking at the cover of the art book. It's a picture of a clay doll, of a woman and her baby holding hands. Which is what's in the other room right now. That's the mother of um, the ghost baby. Okay, I think that is everything except for picking those up, and of course the ghosts we haven't gone after yet. So, we have 3 ghosts that we need to trigger, which is... Let's see, I have a list actually. I said 2 of them we've seen already. We interacted with the line female student, so she was the first one. And there's our next one. I said we saw 2 of them. There's our next ghost. Alright. We want to get ourselves out of breath. Completely out of breath. That's so creepy. Oh man. Yeah, there you have it. Okay. That's the Manikin ghost. Now, I happened to notice something when I was watching somebody else's playthrough yesterday, I think it was. And I was wondering if I was just, I don't know, it threw me off. Oh, I was totally right. Okay, go back to when I first walked in this room. There was a mannequin right here. Right here, there was a mannequin. I never noticed it disappeared until I saw that. Okay, so that I wasn't losing it. Alright, alright, alright. So we got one more. I think we need to go up to 3. 3rd floor. There's girls' bathroom, right? Let me double check. Make sure I'm going to the right one. Girls' bathroom, which is this one? Yeah. Okay, need the lights off, of course. Am I on the right floor? Did I go to the right floor? I did. Oh, that's creepy. That's creepy. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, okay, so I think I did get all the... Whoa! Why does she always do that to me? I already saved. Does that still count? Oh my god. Does that still count? I already saved. I'm done. I was just checking stuff. You can't do that to me. And that is a good place to end this episode. To recap, we completed all the item collections, ghost story collections, ghost encounters for main building 2. And so we are ready to move on to the new building, which is where we're going to go next time. And of course, we're going to have to pick up those last couple items upstairs before we do that. 'Cause that's what's going to trigger our next dialogue options and should re-trigger the janitor while we're at it, unfortunately. But it's not going to last long, so we should have a clear path out of here either way. With that being said, let us close things out for the night. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.